Hey guys, Dave here from the Niche Lifestyle. A couple of false starts there, but it's Friday night, it's 7:07, coming to you from windy, rainy Brisbane. Still getting questions from people about them going through the change process and why they struggle and how they're finding it difficult to move forward. So I've got a statement for you. When the pain of the status quo is more painful than the need for change, you'll find the way to make the necessary changes. Let's start with that statement. Tonight's vlog's aimed at anyone who's contemplating going through change process, through anything, their job, current relationships, work, anything. So 4 things I want to look at tonight. Why personal change is difficult, and the reason why it is because there's always a price to pay. 2, how conditioning plays a part in the change process, and I'll explain that further. 3, how to break the mould, how to make the changes. And 4, staying on course. Bearing in mind that what I'm telling you is a personal perspective, so you can like it or leave it. It's up to you guys. So, why personal change is difficult, and the reason why that is because there's always a price to pay, no matter what change you're going through, whether it's a big one, life-changing, or a small one, learning a new skill, joining a new team, going for a new job. There's always those sorts of pains. There's 2 sorts of pains I want to talk about though. One is the pain of your current status, current situation. And the second one is the pain of change itself. So, and I'll give you a couple of examples. The pain of the current situation, status that you want to change. Some of you may remember I did a vlog, about 3 vlogs back, and I spoke about a guy that had been in the job for 19 years. And I had passed him, and I had gotten the opportunity. They gave me the supervisor's role. And he was pissed off, he was angry, and he let me know in no uncertain terms. He'd been a factory hand for 19 years. So when I talk about the pain of the status quo, of the pain of staying and doing what you're currently doing, I know people that have been in things, doing things, enduring things for a fucking long time and choose not to change. Right? It's about choice. We'll talk about him later on because he's the story I want to carry on with. Then there's the pain of change itself. You heard the old analogies, no pain, no gain. There's always a level of discomfort, uncertainty, or pain when you're starting something new. There's no getting away from it. We all know that, right? No one hits the ground running. We crawl, we walk, then we run. So learning something new, starting a job, joining a new team, learning a new skill, there's always going to be a price to pay. Most of us choose not to go there. 90% of us choose, they'd rather stay within their comfort zones. We'd rather stay within our comfort zones than go about doing change. So this is how painful it is. Okay? The second thing, how conditioning plays a part in the change process. If you play sport, and I always use sport analogy because I've always been involved in sport. If you want to be the best, if you want to be at the upper echelon, if you want to be the best, whatever it is, rugby player, league player, AFL player, outrigger paddler, to be the best, you have to condition not just your body, but your mind to the rigours of the chosen sport. Right? Well, it's the same with everything else that you do. Such is the way with everyday life. Your job, your family, your social circles, your current situation, whatever it is you want to change. You've conditioned yourself to this point. What I'm saying to you is that you're not where you are by chance. You're there by choice. Choices and decisions that you've made. So remember that guy that was, that had been there for 19 years. He chose to be there for 19 years. He chose to endure watching people getting promotions ahead of him. Every single day we're faced with decisions, and we condition ourselves to accept that it's easier for us to do the norm and not change. That's why we struggle. That's why we find it difficult. And I hope that makes sense. In a nutshell, we have conditioned ourselves to the current point that we are in our lives. All the decisions we've ever made, choices we've ever made, have led us to this point in our life. It is conditioning. Just like that sports analogy. Life is just like that. So how do we break the mould? Right? Write this down. For adults to learn, adults have to unlearn. Okay? Now I'm going to do a really cheesy little demo right now. You guys might have seen this little demo, but I'm just going to change the camera angle. See this glass of water here? Picture that is you and you're going through change. This empty glass represents you, your mindset and everything about you. If you want to change, how hard is it to learn something new, take something new on, if your cup is full? What I'm saying about this demo here is for adults to learn they have to unlearn. To learn. I know that was pretty cheesy, but hey, it should be making sense. It's why kids are easier to teach than adults. Because kids, their glasses are half empty. Adults are always full. And that's why it's a struggle to teach an old dog new tricks. It's another analogy. So, there's a couple of things we need to understand here. How to break the mould. You have to be willing to accept that there are things that need changing. You have to recognise what those are. And you've got to be willing to learn new skills, take on new information, so that you understand or take things in, just like that glass of water. Yeah, thanks, Maui. It's not Listerine. But anyway, thanks, bro. So, and you have to take steps to correct it. You've got to take steps. You've got to move forward to make sure that the changes stay in place. Acquiring new skills, meeting new people, joining a new social group that, or the sporting team that you want to join in. You've got to be willing to accept new changes, new skills, and understand that from the get-go. Staying on course. Once you've started down that path, if you want it bad enough, you'll stay there. You'll start conditioning yourself or reconditioning yourself to the new process, new changes, new systems. We've already discussed that change always has a price, pain, discomfort. Stick with it. you'll get there. Are you going to fall off the bandwagon? Hell, not everything in life is an addiction. Sometimes the changes are small, but if you are committed and you stick to them, they'll happen. If you fall off, get back on the damn horse. I'm going to finish with a story. I spoke about the guy that had been in the factory job for 19 years. Right, I'm going to mention his name, so hopefully he doesn't chase me down and bash me. But his name was Owen Patterson. Worked for Fisher and Paykel. He started in Dunedin, Fisher and Paykel, Dunedin. Got a transfer here to Cleveland, and he was here with me for of the 11 and a half years that I was there. He was there for nearly 9 of them. So he would have spent 10 years in Dunedin. But he was on the shop floor for 19 fucking years. 19 years. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, I wouldn't endure something for 19 years. It was the same old shit day in and fucking day out. That pain would be fucking just too much for me. And that's just me, personally. That's just me. But this is what happened with him. He started to become a real pain in the ass. So myself and my boss decided to take him on. He also happened to be vice president of the union at the time. So he knew his way around the award. And he would argue black and blue. He didn't give a fuck, right? He was just venting as far as I was concerned. So for 3 months, my boss and I worked on trying to change his perspective. And I heard in the grapevine that he was involved in Systems 21 or Amway. So he was prepared to do things like that, but he wasn't prepared to change anything on the factory floor to get a promotion. So we worked on that. I worked on it almost daily, day in, day out. And I challenged him with things. Why don't you go and do a sales job? Here's the funny thing. He left of his own volition. Last I heard, and this was almost 12 years ago, last I heard, he was the head sales rep for HSV Zups in Mount Gravatt. And he was on nearly 100k a year. My point is, he was prepared to do factory work for 19 fucking years rather than go out and challenge himself to become a sales rep. Admittedly a used car sales rep, but he ended up becoming one of the high-end sales reps for HSV in Queensland. I suppose the point of tonight is pretty simple. Change is hard, change is difficult, there's no getting around that. If you're prepared to wait 19 years to make changes for something that if you're willing to endure that sort of pain, then hey, it's up to you. But the steps to change are easy, but the pain to change, the pain of your current status has to be bigger than what your current what the change is. And if we are willing to endure that, if you're willing to go through the change process itself, then it's got to be better than what you're currently doing. I know that was a bit haphazard. I hope you enjoyed the glass and a half demonstration. I thought I'd throw that in there, a bit cheesy. But hey, it is a Friday afternoon, it's a Friday night. If you've got any questions, got any issues, and you want to talk about change, if it's your club, your group, anything that you want to discuss, then by all means, throw it at me. I'm always willing to answer. I'll always get back to you. I'll always respond. And if it's something that you think is big enough, I'll throw it up here on as part of this vlog and put it out there. So here's Dave Mason, vlog number 11. Before I go, I just want to say, anyone out there that's doing it tough due to the weather conditions, stay safe, be safe. Dave Mason from the Niche Lifestyle. Catch ya.